And it's good to see you all. That's right. Welcome to Marathon Mondays with Mal. Here we are atop the scaffolding of Coach 1302. Mickey's here with me. Mickey, it's okay to say good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
So we are on the production floor here at Marathon Coach in Coburg, and this is the world headquarters. As you can see behind me, there's a lot of activity going on. If you look over on this side, Todd, I'm going to pull you over here. You got Coach 1031 over there on the showroom floor. Got some customers coming in to take a look at that today. And throughout the production floor, there's several coaches, including what you cannot see. There is a new shell that was delivered. And so there's a lot of activity, and it's an exciting morning going on here at the world headquarters of Marathon Coach. And no more exciting than 1302. We've seen 1299 throughout production. We've also seen 1302. This morning, I'm bringing you 1302 where we are today. I'm hoping that Mike Perotti can show up. Talked to him earlier about coming and talking about cabinetry. So 1302 is a quad slide H3 custom ordered coach. There are a lot of unique factors that are going on inside this coach. Jay Graham, talked to him this morning. He is the lead engineer on this coach, and there is a lot of really unique features, and I'm really excited about it. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about, let's go back to, let's look at the super bath first. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Now, the super bath is something that I'm really excited about, and I know that a lot of marathon owners and future owners are going to be excited about because there's so much room. Not only do you have double sinks, vanity up here, a very large shower, which you can see the tile work is being done in here. All of this tile work was selected along with Brenda Craft by the customer. And then look right here. Here's one thing I'm going to show you. We're going to be able to see it when it's done. What beautiful walls, though. Isn't that nice? You're going to have a commode right there. And then behind the commode, there's a door to reveal a stacking washer dryer right there. Isn't that great? And while we're back here, let's take a look at the wiring, which is modern art, aircraft quality, or what I like to refer to it as marathon quality wiring. Marathon quality wiring means above the industry standard. Marathon sets the standard when it comes to quality, when it comes to fit and finish. I think you already know that because that's why you've watched 105 episodes of Marathon Mondays. And if you haven't, go back and check it. Speaking of watching 105 episodes, let's talk about episode 1. We met with Mike Perotti in episode 1. Good morning, Mike. Episode 1 was in the cabinet shop with you. You're back with us after 105 episodes. I want to ask you a few questions about cabinetry because it's the guts and glory of a marathon coach. The chassis is designed to go 1,000,000 miles.
Yes.
If maintained properly, this chassis will last decades, and we have seen that they have.
Oh, yeah.
The house build, the cabinetry, the appliances, the wiring that we just saw is designed to mirror the chassis, designed to last for decades. Talk to us. Let's pick a portion of cabinetry that your department has done in here, Mike, and why don't you talk to us about the fit and finish, the quality, and why Marathon leads the way when it comes to the cabinetry.
Oh, man, that's a mouthful, Mel.
It is. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, I guess the easiest thing to say about a marathon, of course, you know, the laminate is going to last forever. 20 years from now, it's still going to look like it's brand new.
And I'm a big fan of that because it'll never fade. No worries. It'll never fade.
Nope.
It'll always look that good.
Yeah, it's not going to be like the other guys where it'll fade out and it'll be done. Well, what we have in here is, you know, we built the structure into these right there. You can look at a nice piece of solid birch. We use a light material, light ply on the side there. And that stuff is really resilient when it comes to any kind of moisture or anything like that. We use a lightweight product on there that we've actually put in a bucket for up to 3 weeks, and it didn't even absorb any water. So
Wow, that's
it's not only lightweight, and then with the fabric that's inside there, inside the coach, the scratch resistant. I know you've talked about that an awful lot.
Yes.
But this stuff's really, really, really hardy.
Let's move towards the front of the coach because we don't want to lose. We're right in the heart of the coach. There's so much infrastructure that makes our Wi-Fi kind of wonky. But so when we're talking about cabinetry, we're talking about the build. You've done a lot of testing of woods.
Lots of testing.
We use different woods for different areas depending on how strong it needs to be.
That's correct.
Depending on how light it needs to be. Something that I'm not up to snuff completely about. Talk to us about scribing. And I know it's hard to do that because we really don't have anything to scribe in here yet.
Yeah, not well. We do. All the walls. If you look at this wall right here, and you look at this fit and how this fits across the top, that's been scribed. So the cabinets are actually too tall when they come in.
Okay.
And we will scribe these cabinets in so that they fit nice and tight in every single spot. And we have different floor plans that tell you where the stuff sits. And so everything is shimmed up to the ceiling for that nice tight fit. And as far as the structure, you were talking about that. The different woods that we use in different applications. If we want something really strong, we'll use an apple ply. And literally a little 4-inch board, a big guy like me, I can stand on it, jump up and down, and won't break.
Sure.
Now, if you have a spot where you're going to have drawer guides go in, we're going to put a higher strength structural plywood in that area to support whatever load you put in the drawers. So that's actually a different plywood where the drawer guides would attach.
Okay.
It's not the ultralight products. So you're gonna have that structure and that strength of that wood in there.
Fantastic.
So yeah, and in many cases, anything like in the underbelly or anything like that, they're 500-pound drawer guides. I mean, we use the highest quality of drawer guides we can as well.
Right.
So there's anywhere from the soft close to the push release, and there's even more higher technology than that that's going to go into this specific coach. I don't want to let no secrets out,
right?
But there is some really cool stuff for this coach.
Yeah, this coach, I'm really excited about this coach because, and I was talking with Jay Graham this morning, and I let everyone know that I was talking to Jay, and we were expecting you to come, so I really appreciate it. But the uniqueness of 1302, there are so many different unique features to this coach that we're not able to show them yet, but as we trickle down in production, as production moves along on this coach over the next month, it'll be really exciting for the viewers to see just how creative all the departments here at Marathon got, but how creative the customer got and came to Marathon and said, can you, will you, and Jay Graham in engineering and design, Brenda Kraft, and your department in cabinetry and electrical, everybody came together to get really creative on this coach, so it'll be fun.
There's definitely some head scratching going on there.
Yes.
I want to go, yes, man.
Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. That's right.
As you go along showing this coach, it is some really exciting stuff that are going to go into this. And the joy of Marathon and doing my job in the cabinet shop is making the customers' ideas and dreams and come to life.
I'm glad you brought that up, so let's talk about that, because Mickey and Todd and I have talked a lot about the Why Marathon. We just ran an episode a couple of weeks, last week, I guess it was. Was it last week, Mickey? We ran Why Marathon with Gary and Alice Nelson. So talk about Why Marathon. And one of the things that I want to talk to the viewers about, let's move over here so they can have a different view of us over the cockpit. I see you and your department on the fly because a lot of these coaches, first of all, every single one is unique. There's never been two marathons alike.
No.
But this is quite like 1291, Bernie and Deb's coach.
Oh, yeah, that was a joy.
There was a beautiful, unique coach. The engineering department, the design department, they're coming to you, and I see this constantly saying, Mike, here's what we're thinking. Can you? You know, so it is such a collaborative. And when I think about the question, why marathon, it's really about a collaborative effort between all the departments here at Marathon.
That's true. Very true.
And you've been here for quite a while. Why don't you talk to us about the people that are in your department and how talented they are?
Oh man. Well, I was fortunate to come in here with a seasoned crew to start with.
Sure.
You know, I got some of my guys. Mike Wilson's 31-year guy.
There's a great example.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a whole host of guys here, and I'm fortunate to have 8 or 10 guys back there that are long termers. You know,
Right.
I mean, 10 years and up. So with that comes the knowledge, and as we bring new people in, that knowledge that they've gained over the years and seeing all the different stuff, most of those guys make my job easier.
Sure.
So they have the answers, and then they're able to invest their knowledge into the new guys that come in, which makes them even better.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but the amount of talent that those guys have with the engineering, you know, like Alan, like Jay and Alan, the stuff they have, their inputs, and those guys are really creative when it comes up to making these things go together and making them happen.
Yeah.
You know, and so with that, and the long-term guys I got back there in the laminate department, even in upholstery, you know, John Farley up there, it's amazing what they can do. If something
Our
doesn't,
upholstery department is the best on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I'll put our upholstery department against any upholstery shop on the West Coast. You know, maybe the side of the Mississippi. We are the most talented upholstery shop. And it's a large upholstery shop. We have a large staff. We've got all the resources. It's pretty incredible.
It is. The one thing I do want to mention, it would be that a lot of people don't know this, but my second in command, the guy I have that actually takes care of the cabinet install group, is a guy named Ken Chester.
Sure.
And so Ken Chester and I have been working together for about 22 years.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we have that relationship of a trust and a bond, and we understand each other real well, and that really helps building these coaches go together like they should and more easy.
Right,
know.
right.
So
What a treat to be able to spend the time with you this morning, because you have the ability to touch not on just the craftsmanship that your department provides for every one of these coaches, but also not to sing your praises, but let me get out my songbook. You have your finger on the pulse of the building. You're right in the middle of the building. You've got a large department. A lot of people come to you from every different department. You've got your finger on the pulse of Marathon, and it's really good to hear you talk about the people, the experienced people, and how everyone works together. So thank you, Mike, for hitting on that.
That's very nice. I appreciate it.
I'm excited for this, Coach. I know that you guys are. Mickey, before we get out of here, are there any comments or questions? It's a unique experience to be able to have the head of a department with us.
Well, we do have one question for Mike, and it's, has Marathon ever used Sinker Cypress?
So Sinker Cypress is the question, and I'm not quite sure what they are referring to.
I'm not real sure.
For cabinets. They wanted to know if we've used...
It sounds like a brand. It sounds like a brand of
sounds to me like a solid wood. If they're referring to a solid wood being cypress wood, no, because our cabinets are laminated, and we do a lightweight plywoods. Or if it's structural needing to be, we'll use even alder for all our hardwoods and our radius curves and things like that.
Absolutely. And you know, we build we've seen it before here on Marathon Mondays. We've gone into a 30-year-old marathon. It's probably about 4 or 5 months ago, but we went into a 30-year-old marathon, and the cabinetry was beautiful because 30 years ago we were using the right materials, installing it correctly, and it lasted. We've done that with 20-year-old marathons. So that's a really good thing to touch on right now, is seeing the build model, like I said earlier, the chassis of the Prevost, which is designed to last for decades.
Yeah, that brings up a good point. I was doing an interview last week, and I brought in someone that was interviewing, and I took them into a coach that was actually 10 years old, and they were like, wow,
Right.
this is awesome.
Right.
And they said, oh, how long did it take to do this? I said, well, 10 years ago, the
Yes.
schedule might have been a little different, but they're like, no way.
That's right.
10 years old, yeah.
And that's just it. We do a very good job at building timeless coaches. We've talked about that. That's a whole nother episode for you guys, is talking about how our style of coach, for the most part, lasts for decades because we use the right colors and the right fabrics, things that transcend style and last over time.
Yes,
So
we do.
yeah.
And Mal, could you please remind everybody what coach number this is?
This is Coach 1302 that we're standing in. Quad slide H3 custom order. And I'm excited about it. So for those of you out there, don't forget to be yourself and do good things. I say that every week, and I'm trying to live that way. I'm trying to be myself.
We should all live that way.
That's right.
Yeah.
And do good things and take care of those people that I know and people that I don't know. So anyway, I think it's coffee time. Todd, you got anything? He's good. There's a thumbs up.
All right.
Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Episode 105 is in the tank, and so is coffee. So let's go hit it. Take care,
All right.
everybody. Have a good Monday.